Good morning, Honey Badger Metaverse. We're here with Rebecca Struthers, who's recently joined eXp in the past 2 weeks. Good morning, Rebecca.
Hey, Kevin, how's it going today?
Good, good. So basically, the purpose of this interview is to just capture, since you've only been with eXp for a couple of weeks, we'll do another interview as you get more experience, and we'll circle back around. But what I wanted to do was capture today what the first 2 weeks really feels like. I get a lot of questions saying, how long will it take? What do I have to do? What will it be like? So this interview will just capture the first 2 weeks, and we're going to keep it. It's pretty raw. We're going to give you good, and even if there's been some challenges, so that anybody watching would know what it's like. So why don't we go ahead and why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you've experienced since you've been licensed, how long you've been licensed, and what you've experienced from the beginning before we get into onboarding with eXp.
Okay, so I've been in the industry just over a year. I was with my former brokerage for the first year, and I made the switch over here just 2 weeks ago. During the transition and the 2 weeks following, it has been great. From the amount of brokers available to the staff to all the agents you can connect with instantly through the workplace. The transition has been totally smooth, hasn't been overwhelming. It has actually been great.
Okay. So what would you say, caused you to look for something different from where you were in the past?
So definitely the tools and resources available at my current brokerage versus my former brokerage is the main reason I made the switch. With eXp using some of the industry's best platforms such as KV Core, I've had coaching, mentorship. So I think I'm here for definitely the tools and resources available that weren't previously available to me.
What kind of resources were previously available to you, and did you have to pay for any of those resources?
So basically, all the resources available to me now would have been paid resources at my former brokerage. Any coaching, any programs, they were a fee on top of the brokerage fee. So here, everything's included. It's a fraction of the cost, and the best part is it's all free with me joining.
Okay, okay, your previous monthly fee, like right now, your monthly fee is $139. What was your previous monthly fee?
So with my former brokerage, the total monthly fee comes out to be about $1,100 plus tax. So significantly way higher than what I'm currently offered. And as well, like I said, any of those additional things, like any coaching, training, they were all additional costs.
Okay. All right. So eXp offers many advantages over traditional models. What would you say was the number one reason you joined eXp?
So I think, like you said, it's far from traditional, and I love the fact of doing my own branding. Before these are the colors, these are the templates you pick, and that's what you use. Here, you can pick your own color scheme, your own designs, upload images, logos. So I found that to be amazing that I can brand myself opposed to branding the company.
Okay, good. Yeah. So when I joined, I was with a company that allowed a self-branding as well. So what I was able to do was just put a sticker over my company logo, and everything was fine. I think you were with a company that had registered trademark colors and certain look for their signs. So I don't think you wouldn't be able to do that in that case. But you saw it as an opportunity to create your own brand and your own look in your sign, and seems like you like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, and now you've got your own look.
Exactly.
All right, so with all the I know you've only been there for 2 weeks, and you're kind of onboarding to honey badgers, and you're onboarding to eXp as well. Tell us about the onboarding process, and we'll talk about eXp first.
Okay, so with eXp, the onboarding has been great. Like I said, just having help from all angles throughout the process. And I really found with this company, it's not just this is what you need to know, but this is why you need to know it. And this is how it will make a difference in what you're doing. So I think even after a year of in the industry with this company, I've really found my why, because it's all about improving and changing other people's lives. And I feel like that's exactly what the company does for its agents.
Okay. All right. And what about FinTrack and different things you had to learn?
So again, I found it very in-depth training, and they explain step by step the entire process, why we're doing it, why it's required. And not only that, eXp is using technology that a lot of things are done through applications at your fingertips. You can do remote ID verification. It's not a huge paper trail and having to collect all that and meeting up with people here and there. So I find that great. We're using the FinTracker app, which is new to me, but it is so easy to use that I'm looking forward to utilizing that with people going forward.
Yeah, so just for people that don't know what that is, it allows us to comply with the FinTrack regulations, but also even do remote verifications over Zoom. So we don't have to actually be in front of that person anymore to do that. The other things it does is even if we're in front of someone, we can scan their ID. Barcode automatically fills in most of the data extracted, and then we check off a couple extra boxes on what's happening, and it's done. In fact, it was just announced, I think only in the last month, that they're not even going to do paper FinTrack anymore. They won't. They had some people, I guess, were still submitting forms on the old paper forms, but now you just use the app. It's so much easier, so much quicker, and when you're finished using the app, you don't have to worry about FinTrack. The company already has it; it's already submitted, and you're done. So yeah, pretty cool there. All right. So now one of the things, you're in Milton, Ontario, and one of the things about Milton, we have dozens of locations throughout the GTA where we offer office space. Office space that has receptions, receptionists, photocopiers, coffee. I mean, just like a real estate office, you have common areas and things you can use. But if you want your own private office, you can pay an extra fee and have your own private office, just like a real estate office. And there's many of those locations. Now you're in Milton, which doesn't actually have a Regus space yet. Tell me how you felt about office space and why you feel that way.
Yeah, so going from my former brokerage where I had an office just a block away from me, and then going to, like you said, not having one right here in Milton, but having dozens throughout the GTA, was, I would say, a bit of a concern. But now after getting my free Regus membership and having access to the locations that you mentioned, they're actually nearby. I have one just west of me, 25 minutes, just east of me, 25 minutes. So it's really not far at all. And with the way things are going, with a lot of people having offices from home, even when I was in my former brokerage's office, you'd be lucky if there was more than myself and the front desk person there. So it hasn't been a concern with, I don't have an office right here, right now, but I find with the locations available and offered, like you said, dozens, I'm totally comfortable with that.
Right. So far, I have a dozen agents on my team. Not one has used a Regus office space yet. Now we're in Orangeville, and Orangeville also didn't have a Regus office space. Small towns, don't have them. It's like there's one up in Barrie and there's one in Kitchener, and they're all throughout kind of the core GTA. When you get into the smaller northern villages and towns, they don't have Regus office space. So I opened up my own eXp office. in Orangeville, and people that partner with us obviously can use our office space. Now you've got your membership already for Regis?
Yes. So everything with onboarding has been super fast. It's excellent.
Good. All right. So you've got your pass and you're all set to go. But that leads us into, the Metaverse cloud experience office. And a lot of, to be honest with you, I didn't quite really get the value out of, at the beginning, before I experienced it, I didn't really understand how beneficial it was going to be. Like for me, I would have to drive down, I happen to live in Orangeville, I have to drive down to Mississauga. We'd have our office meetings because it has a fairly large brokerage in like a movie theater that they would rent, I guess, for the afternoon. And that's where our office meeting was. So a lot of the agents could attend. And the idea of driving an hour down to Mississauga and an hour back, 2 hours on the road to attend my office meeting now is quite frankly absurd to me. Not to mention, I never attended any brokerage training at all. So I ended up back, many years ago, hiring and paying for training and coaching, and I would have to go to other locations for that. Essentially, now with the Metaverse, attending your office meeting, I guess the thing that's very different is you feel like there's a feeling of presence. You feel like you're there when it's an avatar of you in an auditorium. And you can go up on the stage, you can talk to the instructor afterwards on a break. You can meet up with some of your colleagues afterwards outside at the beach or something if you want, or a nice place. But I guess really it's the feeling, if you go in, you have auditoriums and we have office spaces. And if I go to the office space, it's just like what you would experience if we walk into the Ontario office, where there's many Ontario managers that you can speak with. Actually, you and I did an experiment. I said, I want to see how fast I could talk to a manager. I think we were under 15 seconds.
Yeah, it was incredibly fast.
Yeah, so we beam ourselves into the Metaverse. You were on Zoom, beamed ourselves in, went into the office, and just like a real office, if the door is closed, you can't, he's busy, he's doing something, you can't go in. But if the door is open, you can. And sometimes you see the door closed and he's speaking with someone, and there's another avatar or two sitting in there speaking to them. So it really, I guess that's the best way to describe it, is the feeling of presence in the office. And that's the part that that's the part that I didn't get. And I think a lot of people are pleasantly surprised with the fact that it feels very similar to in-person collaboration, with the ease of not having to drive to the office or drive to an office meeting, to have that kind of interaction. And that's really the power. That's really the power of it, in my opinion. All right, so what has there been any challenges with onboarding so far? Like, has there been anything that you've been disappointed with, or something that's been harder than you maybe thought?
So definitely no disappointments. And also with the challenges, I feel like the only challenges I faced is really within myself and utilizing everything that's available to me, because there is so much that's offered. You gotta, prioritize and do what's best for you. So I think overall, it's just been amazing. And I think there's so much to offer that some could say it's overwhelming, but with the way they walk you through step by step and all the training done from beginner level, they go through everything so thoroughly. I haven't found anything difficult or challenging.
So you're just 2 weeks in, and my understanding is you're already got your KV Core account set up, which is an HDX site. CRM, artificial intelligence, lead generation platform. You're already set up with your KV Core, yeah?
Correct. And it has been awesome. It's a program that works for you. So I did my first open house with it. It was excellent. It follows up for you. I mean, the lead generation in the software is, it's one of the main reasons I joined, because without these programs, I mean, I'm going out, like I said, with my former brokerage and paying for things, and you're doing the training on your own. Everything here is offered for free, and all the trainings for free. And the system has been great in the last 2 weeks that I've utilized it.
Okay. So let's transition now over to, you partnered with honey badgers at eXp. Fabulous group. I mean, that's why I joined them, and now I'm heading up the local chapter of honey badgers in Ontario, called Honey Badger Metaverse. I know you understand why we call it Metaverse. Our particular team basically utilizes virtual environment technology. We're already set to go with VR and AR stuff. We use virtual environments now to augment video narrated 3D animated online showing. So Honey Badger Nation is our parent company, and then there's Honey Badger Metaverse. I know that the first couple of weeks, and that's why we're doing this, to capture what it's like in the first couple of weeks. So what have you experienced so far from a honey badger perspective?
Yeah, so honey badgers, they offer their own application, their own training. So not only do I have the brokerages, but I have the teams training with Funnel Fridays. They have a team that sets up automated social media ads for you. So they're offering, on top of what the brokerage is already offering, all these additional things for free. And they're all interactive. They're all with the top agents. And I look forward to doing every Funnel Friday. And I think I'm still, like you said, within the first 2 weeks, only touching on the tip of a lot of things. So there's way more to go still.
Yeah. So in our group, like, I know, there's lots of, social media, how-to videos. I mean, the YouTube's swamped with them. At the end of the day, to get you up quickly, our group feels that we're the experts at it, and it's better if we come in through a Zoom like this. We can take control of the computer. You grant control of the computer, and we actually take your assets and set them all up for you to get you off and running. And then, as you mentioned, we do have, we pretty much have stuff going on every day through the week. You mentioned Funnel Fridays, which is where we specifically get together and collaborate on the best ads that are producing now. And we actually give you those ads and plug them into KV Core with step-by-step help. But that's after we set up and get you running and everything of that nature. So okay, what about one-on-one coaching? What have you experienced so far?
So that has been great. I feel like I have spent more time with one-on-one coaching than I had spent with the entire year at my former brokerage with my previous broker, sorry. So it has been amazing. The help that's been offered, the time that's been invested with a coach to teach me these things and train me on things has been by far way better than I could have imagined. I've been walked through so many different things on how to build my business, how to grow. It is just overall, I'm just so happy I joined eXp.
Okay, so give us an example of, say, at the end of the day, if you do the right things in the right order at the right time. I mean, like one of the challenges, I think, coming into eXp for people is there's so many tools, there's so many resources, there's so much training on different topics. Like, we have over 50 hours a week of live icon based, as you pointed out. Some of the top realtors on the continent are basically 50 hours plus a week of live training, not recorded stuff. We have thousands of hours of recorded stuff, but live training where you can ask questions and interact. Basically, it's more training than you can consume in a week. But what your one-on-one stuff? What? And I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but what specifically have they had you doing so far?
So like you said, there's so much within the company that with tools and resources. The one-on-one coaching has been great because they're keeping you focused on what you should be doing from the beginning, in what order, as opposed to here it all is and kind of where do you go. So I've been walked through all that, and I've received not just, you know, throughout getting everything set up, but also being taught dialogue, scripts offered, all these things that are going to improve me as a person in the industry. So I find, and like I said, the amount of time spent too, not just these quick, you know, 10-15 minute calls, like they're taking an hour a day to really make sure you're on track with everything.
Okay. All right. And nothing really like that at your former brokerage then?
No, and the best part is here it's offered with joining for free by some of the top agents in the company, producing agents, where any coaching at my previous brokerage was done by an outsider who isn't someone on the front line selling real estate, knowing what they're doing. It's someone who just works with realtors.
What would you say the experience level of the people that you've been trained by or coached by? What was their productivity and or experience level like?
So, like I said, top producers and performers. So you're really working with the best of the best.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So this has been kind of a 2-week snapshot of, you know, how would you describe your overall feeling about the move that you've made now at this stage?
At this stage, it's almost more exciting than the very first day, you know, after getting set in and getting comfortable with all the systems. I feel beyond ecstatic that I made the move.
Okay. All right, great. So in closing, what advice would you give, you know, say another realtor looking to take their business to the next level, or maybe even a newer realtor like yourself? What would you tell them, you know, about starting out in real estate? What did you learn in your first year, and what have you now figured out that you'd relay to them?
So my advice would be don't hesitate, make the move, have the courage for the change, because it is like I only wish a year ago I joined from the beginning, but can't go backwards. So I can't wait to look back in a couple of years and just see the growth that I've had from joining. I almost feel like I'm further ahead in the 2 weeks than I was with a whole year at my former brokerage.
Okay, good stuff. All right, I figured this would be a pretty good interview. You're a rock star. What I've noticed about you is, you know, you can have lots of resources and you can have lots of training and you can even have the one-on-one guidance, but you have to have participation on the other side. I mean, you know, if you joined you know, the best gym in the world that had, you know, all the resources and all the tools and all the equipment, if you don't go and plug yourself into it, it's just not going to be able to help you. So I think the thing about, you know, eXp is it makes, because everything is so structured, you're already onboarded, set to go. Like you could trade now, right? 2 weeks later, you're like, I mean, well, you could be trading the next day, but you're actually onboarded fully with eXp, and now you're kind of starting this next journey into honey badgers as well. So because of the structure, though, it makes it easy. Because of the metaverse, learning becomes easier because I mean, you can learn the topics you want because there's so many, pretty much any topic you want is being taught by one of the top agents in North America called Icon Agents. So things just get easier, but even though they're easier, we still need participation. And you've been a rock star in going through the process and accomplishing what you need to do to keep moving forward. And you know, some people, you know, it's okay to go slower, but I mean, you're doing an outstanding job. I can tell, pretty good judge of character with new realtors starting in, with how they're perceiving and what their attitude's been like. I can already tell that you're going to be fantastic at this business. You're going to be a top producer yourself. I know it, and we're excited that you've partnered with. You are what eXp is looking for. Yeah,
that's great to hear, Kevin. I really look forward to working with everyone within the company.
and we look forward to working with you. So, in closing, what we say in our group, as you probably already know, we'll either see you at the top
or from the top.
All right. Have a good day.
You too, Kevin.
Bye-bye.